Welcome back to the News at Noon. Here's our own Bo Hendricks with a recap of today's action on the Grace auction.
Thank you so much, Todd. Man, all right. Feel like I've been doing this for a few years by this point, but let's break down our final day. All right, we're going to start off with the first segment of the day. We had the backpack full of school supplies. That went for $35 to bidder $188. We had the State Fair tickets. That went for $35 to bidder $285. The Kitty Cafe, big item, number 128. That's bidder number 128. Got that for $200. Creative Outlet, $95 to bidder 110. Into the second segment of our first hour, we had the Bloody Mary basket, $50 to bidder 840. The cheesecake, $70 to bidder 180. Thank you so much. Also from Diane Nautigal for that mixed berry cheesecake and the bidder. The RC Utilities fire hydrant, $250 to bidder 270. The Super Skater Pass, $100 to bidder 375. On to the next segment of hour one. We had the cornhole. That went for $180 to bidder 800. The quilt, $175 to bidder $635. The also the family pass, the pool pass, went for $140 to bidder $205. Then we had our first segment of hour two. We'll start with that. We'll go back to the big ticket items in a second here, but we had the donuts. That went for $100 to bidder $200. I'm trying to think here. The donuts. I might be off there. Let me check on that. But anyway, we had the Elusive Escape Pass. I can go there. $135 to bidder $800. The Richland Locker gift certificate, $120 to bidder $270. Those were the days. This was special because at the last second we had two people tie on that. But both bid $500, so it's $1,000 total. That going $500 to bidder $188, $500 for bidder $900. The car cleaning kit from Benson Insurance went for $125 to bidder $243. Then on to the first segment of the second hour, we had the Quill Run, 10 rounds of 9-hole golf, $200 to bidder $835. We had the Betesnik Power Sports Certificate, $100 to bidder $435. The Fresh Baked Pie from Mars Jelenic, $125 to bidder $253. The Ray's Do It Best gift card, $75 to bidder $685. Then, in our final segment of the second hour, the Pizza Ranch from Reedsburg, one buffet per month for a year, $200 to bidder $865. Wanless Construction, 16 yards of gravel, $525 to bidder $253. We had the Taliesin pass. That went for $150 to bidder $270. And the Meyer Oil wooden flag thermos and cheese cutting board, $275 to bidder $870. Now our big ticket items of the day. For hour one, we had the two-stage snowblower, $720 to bidder $345. Gary's Lawn Care hunting blind, $1,500 to bidder $480. In the second hour, we had the venue space, $300 to bidder $315. Diplopia, $525 to bidder $240. Now, with that, I do want to take a quick moment to also shout out our matches and donors throughout the day today, as we were very fortunate. In the first segment, we had the $500 donated from Paul Buning. Also, in the second segment, it was $300 from Scott Industries. Our one's big ticket item was a $500 donation also in that segment from Milk Specialties. Then we had in the 10 and 40 segment, $200 from Mill Creek Transport, $100 from Tony Doherty Insurance. We had also in the 11 o'clock first segment, $100 from Royal Cleaning, $200 from Greg Kinney, also $200 from Dennis and Karen Welsh. Also, in the hour two big ticket items, we had the $1,000 match from Southwest Title LLC, and we also had a generous $500 donation from Mueller Builders, just so that we did match that. So then we got the $1,000 from Southwest Title LLC. We had the 1120 set. We had $100 from American Family Insurance, Michael Olson, $500 from Sean's Auto. In the final segment, $200 donation from Lonesome Dove, $250 from the VFW Gilbertson Pitzer Radley Post of Boscobel, $300 from Benson Insurance, $200 from Kleppy Grain. Also, so many families and class members over the years from our area have put in matches today, giving us $850. Let me break it down for you now. Each day here, we had day one. With the matches and everything, we are sitting tentatively at $3,440. Day two, $3,940. Day three, $4,935. Day four, $6,895. And day five, $13,305. So, altogether, tentatively here, I'm saying that we have reached this year in the radio auction $32,915 all going to Grace. Such a great year. So many people helped make this such a successful radio auction. So many people from the bidders to the donators to those who matched to all of those who helped us here each day. Thank you. And I'm so happy to be able to give this money to Grace. Everybody around this area helped make this possible. So a shout out to all of you. You did well. Now back to you, Todd.
Bo, while I have you, stay with me for just a minute. I'm going to ask you one more time. Phil just handed me the total from this auction last year. Last year's total raised was $26,730. $26,730 last year. Bo, one more time. What's the total this year?
We reached $32,915. Wow, blowing that out of the water. Think about that. Everybody here over all 5 days who helped make bids, who raised that money for Grace, pat yourself on the back, because that is all going to help all of those dealing with cancer and their families. Wow. This is why it's so great to be a part of this community.
Very nearly $6,200 beyond last year's total, which was great in its own right. Thank you, everybody. I'm proud of this community and the greater Richland area, all of you in Southwest Wisconsin who consistently step up. You all did it again. And I got a reminder here, the Grace office will be open if you did have a winning bid on any of these items. The Grace office is open today from 1 until 6 p.m. and then Monday from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. You can pick up your items down there. If you're paying with cash, please bring the correct change. If you're writing a check, the checks need to be made out to Grace, just very simply in capital letters, Grace. Again, the Grace office open today from 1 until 6. And then Monday from 8 a.m. until 6 p.m. If you pay with cash, correct change, please. Checks, make them out to Grace. In the news, the Richland School District Board of Education has officially scheduled a special meeting for Monday, August 10th. The meeting is set to commence at 6:30 p.m. and will be held in the Richland Center High School, the Richland School Board Conference Room out on Highway 14 West. The primary focus of the evening's agenda involves a motion to convene in closed session. This session is intended to conduct a pupil expulsion hearing and to allow for the necessary deliberations concerning the matter as permitted by state statutes. The board is expected to take formal action during this closed portion of the meeting. In addition to the expulsion hearing, the board will review and consider potential revisions to previous orders of pupil expulsion that have been issued. Furthermore, the members will evaluate a specific request for the expungement of an order of pupil expulsion. Once the board has addressed all items on the agenda or declined to take further action, the meeting will conclude with a motion to adjourn the meeting from the closed session. The Village of Spring Green Board of Trustees will convene for a meeting Wednesday, August 12th at 7 p.m. During this session, the board will address new business, specifically the discussion and potential action regarding proposed amendments to Ordinance 180 concerning bicycle and play vehicles. Additionally, the meeting will feature an information session regarding the 2027 budget timetable for the village. The Richland Center Parks and Recreation Department will be hosting Kids Night Out tonight from 5 until 8 at the Richland Center Community Center. Kids enjoy a night of fun, games, movies, and snacks. Some of the recreation programs kids will get the opportunity to experience are Crafty Kids, gym games, Lego Madness, Girls just want to have fun and cooking for kiddos. Also, movie camp. Cost is $15. Register online at richlandcenter.activityreg.com or stop by the Parks and Rec office today. Kids Night Out at the Community Center. A benefit for Jolene Newkirk will be held Sunday from 3 until 8 at the Buena Vista Bicentennial Park in Gotham. There will be a car cruise, a silent auction, and a bucket raffle along with other raffles. There will also be a barbecue chicken dinner at 5 o'clock. All proceeds will go to Jolene Newkirk. If you would like to donate, please contact Jessica Wonicky at 608-604-1396 or Lori Repsummer at 608-485-1272. The legal proceedings in the case of State of Wisconsin versus Makoto Kuroda have brought to light a disturbing incident of workplace retaliation involving the use of hazardous chemicals at the University of Wisconsin-Madison's Influenza Research Institute. The defendant faces serious criminal charges, including second-degree recklessly endangering safety and tampering with household products, both felonies. These charges stem from an investigation that began in April 2026 after an employee at the research facility discovered that his drinking water and laboratory shoes had been contaminated with toxic substances. The incident first came to the attention of the UW-Madison Police Department April 6th when a researcher identified as TM reported a strange odor emanating from his water bottle. According to the criminal complaint, TM had consumed a portion of the water 2 days prior and immediately noticed a foul taste, which he fortunately spat out. The situation escalated when TM later discovered the same pungent chemical smell on his lab shoes. Forensic analysis conducted by the Wisconsin State Laboratory of Hygiene confirmed a high concentration of chloroform in the water bottle, a finding that indicated a significant and dangerous initial exposure level for any individual who might have consumed the liquid. As the investigation progressed, the focus shifted toward the defendant following a dramatic admission of guilt. Kuroda reportedly confessed to TM and his supervisors, stating plainly, "I did it." He further solidified this admission through an email sent to a professor at the institute expressing regret for his actions. During subsequent interviews with law enforcement, Kuroda detailed the history of professional friction and perceived disrespect from TM, citing issues ranging from lab safety protocols to interpersonal grievances. He admitted to using a syringe to inject a mixture of paraformaldehyde and trizol, chemicals he frequently handled for bacterial culture experiments, into TM's water bottle and shoes. Kuroda even revealed that he had used artificial intelligence to research the specific dosages of these chemicals that would cause physical illness without being lethal, intending for his colleague to, quote, feel bad rather than die. Currently, the legal case against Kuroda is actively moving through the Dane County Circuit Court system. Following his initial appearance where a $5,000 cash bond was set, the defendant was bound over for trial after a preliminary hearing established probable cause. Most recently, an arraignment was held August 6th, during which Kuroda entered a plea of not guilty to the charges. The court has scheduled a pre-trial conference for September 25th as the prosecution and defense prepare for the next phase of this complex and unsettling criminal matter. A Kenosha woman is facing legal proceedings after being charged with a felony in a recent vehicle-related incident. Emily A. Fair, 36, has been officially charged with taking and driving a Pleasant Prairie ambulance while she was completely naked, a Class H felony under Wisconsin statutes. The case, which was initiated through electronic filing on August 4th, stems from an incident that led to her initial appearance in court earlier this week. During the initial court proceedings before Court Commissioner Daniel Kellum, a cash bond was set at $200. As part of the conditions for her release, Fair has been ordered to have no contact with the Pleasant Prairie Fire Department unless emergency services are required. The court also emphasized that proper attire is mandatory for all future appearances, specifically prohibiting shorts or tank tops within the courtroom. Defense attorney Daniel Slapsinski was appointed to represent Fair through the Public Defender's Office. During the early stages of the case, the defense raised concerns regarding the defendant's competency to stand trial. In response, the court has ordered a formal competency examination, and the necessary documentation has been forwarded to the Department of Health Services for review. A competency hearing has been scheduled to address these findings on August 26 before Judge David O. Hughes in Kenosha County Circuit Court. Fair remains in custody pending the results of the evaluation and the satisfaction of her bond conditions. In a significant escalation of congressional oversight regarding the federal response to the COVID-19 pandemic, U.S. Senator Ron Johnson of Wisconsin, chairman of the Permanent Subcommittee on Investigations, officially voted to hold Dr. Anthony Fauci in contempt of Congress. The move occurred during a business meeting of the Homeland Security and Governmental Affairs Committee and was prompted by what Senator Johnson characterized as a refusal to comply with committee investigations and a notable silence from Dr. Fauci during recent testimony. During his remarks, Senator Johnson strongly rejected criticisms from Democratic colleagues who suggested the investigation was rushed or one-sided. He argued that the quest for accountability has been ongoing since 2020. Citing a long-standing lack of cooperation from health officials. The senator pointed to past hearings involving alternative treatments and vaccine safety, alleging that previous attempts to bring forward diverse medical perspectives were systematically denigrated or ignored by the committee's ranking members. A central point of Johnson's argument involved revelations from Dr. Fauci's personal diaries, which the senator claims show a stark contradiction between Fauci's private thoughts and his public directives. Johnson highlighted an early entry suggesting the pandemic might be comparable to a severe flu season, questioning whether such a prognosis justified the widespread economic and social disruptions that followed. He emphasized that after 6 years, the American people still feel a lack of full reckoning of the pandemic's origin and management. The senator concluded by asserting that Dr. Fauci's behavior during his most recent appearance displayed a fundamental contempt for the legislative branch and its constitutional role in conducting oversight. While Dr. Fauci has publicly stated he has nothing to hide, Johnson countered that, saying his actions suggest otherwise. Looking ahead, the senators announced that his investigation is only beginning, with plans for transcribed interviews and further deep dives into the record to ensure comprehensive accountability for the decisions made during the COVID-19 era. The Friends of the Lower Wisconsin Riverway invite you to the 2026 Flow Potluck Brunch and Annual Meeting, which will take place Saturday, August 22nd at the Wintergreen Preserve in Spring Green. The day begins at 11 a.m. with a community potluck and the annual meeting, where they will celebrate the year's achievements and discuss future initiatives. As they will not have access to a kitchen facility, they ask that all attendees bring their food in coolers, ready to eat, along with their own beverages, plates, and utensils. Following the gathering at Wintergreen, the festivities will continue with a group paddle departing from the Highway 14 launch shortly after 1 p.m. For convenience, participants have the option to set a shuttle at the Wisconsin Riverside Resort, which also provides boat rentals and upstream shuttle services for those who do not have their own equipment. If you prefer to stay on dry land, they would still love your participation. Volunteers are encouraged to help with shuttling fellow paddlers or to capture photos and videos of the group from the bridge. The American Red Cross urges donors to give blood or platelets now to help hospitals and transfusion centers stay prepared to help all patients. An area blood drive is being held today from now until 5:30 at Christ Lutheran Church in Spring Green. Appointments may be made by calling 800 Red Cross. Walk-ins are welcome. The Wisconsin Department of Natural Resources has announced that a major parking lot repaving project is set to begin in early August on the north shore of Devil's Lake State Park. This project involves pulverizing the existing lots and implementing essential improvements for water conveyance, such as new culverts, ditching, and curb and gutter systems. In addition to these structural upgrades, the park will install standard parking lot lighting and a new universal kayak launch to enhance visitor experience. Construction construction will be executed in phases throughout the remainder of the 2026 season to maintain minimal parking access for visitors with an estimated project completion date in the spring of 2027. While a designated foot traffic path will be maintained to ensure visitors can still access various areas of the park, access to certain shelters and day use areas will be limited. Notably, the North Shore Chateau and Rock Elm Shelter are scheduled for temporary closure in late 2026 to accommodate short-term renovations. To assist visitors during the initial construction phase, the DNR will provide additional temporary accessible parking stalls at the North Shore Visitor Center parking lot. The Boscobel Municipal Airport is preparing for an exciting morning of aviation and community fellowship as it hosts its annual fly-in and drive-in breakfast Sunday, August 23rd. This long-standing tradition invites local residents and visiting pilots alike to gather at the airport for a day of festivities and scenic views. The event is located just 1 mile east of Boscobel on State Highway 133 with access via James Drive. The Boscobel cross-country team will be handling the breakfast service, offering a full morning meal from 8 a.m. to 12 noon. Attendees can count on a hearty start of their day, regardless of the weather, as the cross-country team plans to serve breakfast, rain or shine. In addition to the meal, the Airport Commission has arranged for plane rides to be available for $40, providing a unique opportunity for guests to experience the area from the skies. Everyone is encouraged to come out and support the local cross-country program while enjoying the unique atmosphere of the municipal airport. For more information regarding the event, the City of Boscobel can be reached at 608-375-5001. Whether arriving by plane or by car, the community looks forward to a successful turnout for this local summer highlight. The ongoing debate over the management of gray wolves in Wisconsin has reached a new peak following the U.S. Senate's recent objection to Senator Ron Johnson's unanimous consent request for the passage of the Pet and Livestock Protection Act. Wisconsin Farm Bureau Federation President Brad Olson expressed profound disappointment with the federal roadblock, emphasizing that the recovery of the gray wolf is a documented scientific success that justifies a shift in management authority from federal courts back to state wildlife professionals. Olson argues that for Wisconsin's farming community, the issue is rooted in data-driven management rather than political ideology. He points out that while farmers are consistently held to scientific standards in crop production, the federal government has failed to apply the same rigor to wildlife management. Despite multiple presidential administrations across both parties acknowledging the successful recovery of the species, the WFBF contends that federal intervention continues to prioritize emotional arguments over the overwhelming scientific evidence supporting delisting. The practical consequences of this administrative gridlock are becoming increasingly severe for local producers and residents. The Wisconsin Department of Natural Resources recently declared an emergency after exhausting the funds allocated to compensate livestock producers for wolf depredation. This financial shortfall has left farmers, hunters, and pet owners facing significant delays in receiving reimbursements for losses. The WFBF maintains that the current status quo is unsustainable and remains committed to advocating for a management system where science takes precedence over sentiment to protect the state's agricultural interests and domestic animals.